Hi, this is Tom from the Physics Classroom. I'm here to help you learn how to create a task, a simple task. This is the second video on the topic. In the first video, I discussed the importance of doing your research before actually creating the task. When you do your research, you have to think about four terms. First, you have to think about your course. Second, you have to think about what topic you're covering right now in that course. Third, you got to think about what would make a great task. What concept builder is there that would make a great task? And then finally, what activities in that concept builder would be perfect for my students? So to review those four terms, it's course, topic, task, and activities. So I have the concept builder section open, and my topic right now is one-dimensional kinematics. So I'm going to go into that. I'm looking to make a task for my honors physics students. So I'm going to kind of scroll through here. I've actually already done this. And there was one particular task that I thought was pretty suitable for my students in this honors physics class. And it was this, which one does it belong? And I've already done my research on this, and I've looked and noticed that there are three activities in this concept builder. There's three different difficulty levels. And when I log in and look, I'll see them here. They're called the apprentice, the master, and the wizard difficulty level. And they're clearly very different. And so when planning this task, what I figured out is I want my students to do any two of these difficulty levels. I don't even care which two, but one thing I'm going to tell them is I'm going to tell them that they need to be good enough to be able to accomplish or finish this wizard level. I'm not asking them to do it. I'm just saying, hey, if you want to do well on next week's test, be able to do the wizard level. And I'm also going to say, just to kind of sweeten the deal here a little bit, I'm going to say do any two, but if you do the third one, you get one bonus point. And then finally, I'm going to add something else to this whole thing. They have to do two. If they don't do two, they don't get any points. It's 0 for 5. But if they do two, they get 5 points. And if they do three, they get a bonus points, 6 for 5. So I've done my research, and I thought about how I want to set up this concept builder for the course I'm teaching, for the topic I'm on, and what activities in the concept builder, the task that I want to require. That's step one. Do your planning. Now that you've done your planning, it's time to implement the plan. So step two is to go into the account section of Task Tracker and to begin thinking in terms of class, topic, task, and activities to create this task that you're interested in students doing. So here's my account page, and I'm just going to click right here where it says courses or classes. That opens up my list of classes. I only have one here, and that's Physics Period 1. It's my honors physics class. I'm going to open that up. I've planned a task for that class. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about topic, and the topic that I had picked was one-dimensional kinematics. Now it's already picked for me right there, but if it wasn't, I would create a new topic if it wasn't listed in my list of topics. Mine's listed. Click on the eyeball to see that topic. When I click on it, I see all the tasks that are currently assigned to my Physics Period 1 class, and one that is not on there is the which one doesn't belong. So I'm going to create a new task, and a pop-up appears, and in the pop-up I'm going to select which one doesn't belong. So I just use that little pull-down menu, and I select there, and then this is where I include the due date, and that looks pretty good to me, and then I'm going to write something in the teacher message spot. Now this is where you help students learn how they can perform well in this concept builder, what types of things they should do ahead of time, and then maybe you give them some instructions about what part of the task or concept builder that they need to do. Now here's one thing that I came up with. I'm just going to paste it in. I've already written it, and it was use pages 21 through 35 of your Unit 1 packet that we've been going through, and also use slides 22 through 29 of your Unit 1 slide deck to prepare for this, and also you might want to go to the Physics Classroom tutorial and read lessons 2 and 3. Right. Now we're at the end of the unit, so here's what I'm going to have students do. I want them to complete 2 of the 3 difficulty levels, and I'm telling them that next week we have a test, that if they want to do well in that test, they need to be strong enough on wizard level, with an understanding of the wizard level to do well in that test. So I've kind of given them some instructions there that go along with the planning that I've already done. And then I'm going to submit, and the page reloads, and it asks me to, and I get 3 additional fields that weren't there earlier. Now, I'm going to make this a 5-point assignment, and I want it to be all or nothing. And that's what this completion point value is. It's an all or nothing point value for doing however many activities that I'm going to require. And the minimum number that I'm going to require is 2. All right, I want them to do any two. It doesn't matter which two. And the maximum activities I'm going to count as 3 because my planning was that if they did a third, I'd give them a bonus point. So that's where I use this bonus points per extra activity. I'm going to put a 1 in there. And then I'm going to submit. Now, if you look at how I've set this up, 5 points for completing 2 activities. That's what this first field and this second field indicate. And you could do a third because I'm going to count your any 3 activities you do. And if you do an extra beyond the required 2, you get a bonus point. So I have a 5-point activity with the potential of getting 6 points, and I'm allowing them to do any 2. Now I'm going to give them the chance to submit this late, but we're buttoning this up next to the test date. So I want to kind of discourage that. So I'm going to give a little heavier penalty than usual there, a 50% penalty, because I want them to do it ahead of time. So I submit. And the page reloads, and I've set up the first part of my task, and we call this the task properties page. Now we're almost done with this. I want you to hit the Back to Task button, and that brings us back to this page, which I call the Activity Properties page. You see right here, it's the which one doesn't belong. You got the teacher message that I gave you, information on the due date, task activities. There's the 3 activities. I want all 3 of those activities in this task. They can do any one of them. If I hit the Edit Activities button, if I wanted to, I could require that they do one of them. And it wouldn't matter which one. I could say, okay, I want you to do the master, or I want you to do the wizard, whatever. But I'm not going to do that. I'm giving them the choice which one they do, and I'm not going to have any point value here because I'm using completion point value. So nothing I really need to do on this page other than just make sure it's all set up right. So if I want to take a further peek, I can hit this scoring button right here. It'll give a summary. None of the activities are required except that they have to do 2 activities in order to get the 5 points for completion right here. There's a big penalty if they submit late because I just don't want them to do that. And I'm given 1 bonus point for the 3rd activity that they complete. All right, that's your concept builder. Now, I want to hit this back to the section one-dimensional kinematics, because if I go back there, you should see it now listed in the tasks. These are the concept builders that students are going to see listed on their assignment board. And here's which one doesn't belong. And I want you to show, some of you have more than one class, and so you just did this for period 1. You want to clone this to period 2 and 3. Don't have to go through that process all over. It's this button right here on cloning a task. Just tap on that. It will bring up your courses, and you say, I want to clone it to this course, and then do it again, and I want to clone it to that course. And so quickly you can get this onto the other courses that you teach in Task Tracker. You got this.